Okay, for this exercise, I'm going to be animating a joint chain, so I'll be using parenting relationships here. Just going to import this skeleton as a composition, and this was prepared inside of Adobe Photoshop. All right, I've got some uh, different layers, and the first thing you need to do when you're animating a joint chain is to make sure that you you put the anchor points in the right place. So look at how I'm going to solo this first layer, and I'm also highlighting it. I soloed this first layer, it's the hand of this skeleton, and then I'll use the letter Y or the anchor point tool up here to change the anchor point, and I'm moving it to the wrist. Next, I will solo the forearm layer. It's very important that you also highlight the forearm layer. Now I'm going to, by the way, if you keep the hand soloed as well, then you can, it's easier to remember where you need to put the anchor point. Okay, now next I'm going to solo the upper arm, and I'll place this anchor point where the shoulder should be. And if I rotate the upper arm here, it would be a lot better if the rest of the arm and the hand also stayed with it. I'll hit Command Z to undo, and I'm going to use this column. I'm going to parent the layers to each other. Before I was showing the alpha track matte columns, so I'm just going to hide all that information by clicking in this button. There's three little buttons in the lower left hand corner, and I'm going to click on the one in the middle, and that hides the blend modes and the track mattes. Next, I've got the hand layer highlighted, and I want the parent of the hand layer to be the forearm. So I'm parenting the hand to the forearm. Next, I need the forearm to be parented to the upper arm. So I'll use this drop down and choose upper arm, or I could use the pick whip and drag this pick whip to the upper arm. Now that I've got a joint chain relationship here, when I rotate the upper arm, you'll notice that the forearm and the hand stay with it. Okay, I'll hit undo. For the skull, I also need to make sure that the anchor point is in the right place. And I'm just going to animate this arm knocking the skull off. My friend Lisa Bryson came up with that idea to have the skeleton knock its own head off. So I'm going to select these first four layers and hit the letter R. And when I keyframe one stopwatch, it will keyframe all of these layers. It'll keyframe rotation for all of these layers. Moving down the timeline, and I'll just rotate individual bones here. Okay, I'm going to click on gray so nothing's selected. Then I'm going to rotate this upper arm a little bit. I'm going to expand, I'm going to open up the angle on the elbow. Let's just push this, boom, like that. Okay? And then of course the head needs to rotate, get pushed back there. Okay, eventually the head will come off. So I need to show the position attribute as well as rotation for the head, because I do want to animate position. If I hit the letter P, you'll see that the position attribute replaces rotation. If I hit the letter R, rotation will replace the position. So if I hold down Shift and hit P or S, I can show additional attributes, and I can see more than one attribute at a time. Okay, so once again, I'm going to hit R to show rotation, then I'm going to hold Shift and hit P. Now I can see position and rotation. I'll make sure I keyframe the position, and let's continue to move forward here. And let's just shove this head off. Okay, and of course I want to bend the arm even more. Okay, let's See how this animation looks? I just hit the letter N. When you hit the letter N as in Nancy, it'll move the end of your work area to where your timeline is. Now I'm going to hit spacebar. Okay, looks like it's moving a little slowly. So let me just bring all of these keyframes a little bit closer together. Okay, once again, hitting the letter N to trim my work area down. You know, it's kind of distracting to see some black holes in the back here, so I will hit Command Y to create a new solid. I'll use the eyedropper and just pick this white pixel, and now I've got a white solid that I can drag to the very bottom of all of these layers, and that'll fill in that black hole. Okay, I don't like how there's some white space here, so I'll select my skull layer, and I'm just going to use a mask to crop out any of this extra white space. Okay, that should look a lot better. Don't forget that comma and period are how you zoom in and out, and since I'm already over here on the lower right corner of my keyboard, if you hit Option question mark, that'll fit to window. Okay, I feel like that position's moving a little bit too fast, so I'm gonna just move this skull a little bit higher up. Okay, and there's an animation I've created while also using parenting to create a joint chain. And when you have a joint chain, it's much easier to animate an arm or a tail, because you don't have to worry about animating the position attribute. You're just keyframing rotation.